Greetings to all friends of ERA, and welcome again to our another session of ERA Monthly Direction. And today, it will be hosted by myself, which is Chris Chen, and I'm the Executive Director of Agency of ERA. And I have a bit of experience in the real estate industry for about 23 years, particularly in the Central Core region. This is where I've been doing a lot of my activities, be it sales, rental, transactions, project launches for developers. So today, I have a very interesting topic. And the topic is something that suddenly I have this inspiration because there is a joke behind this. So this one day, one of my friends, he asked me that, hey Chris, where do you stay? I said, oh, I live in the Kenyu area in CCR. The first thing and he told me is that what? Chris, then there's no way for you to get a very nice bowl of this fishball noodle. So I think that living in Orchard means there is no fishball noodle. I keep thinking, is it really true that I cannot have a bowl of nice fishball noodle in Orchard area? So I did a hunt. Of course, we can go to Newton Hawker Center, all the food courts in Takashimaya, Wisma, all the Lucky Plaza, all the areas have actually more fishball noodle for me to choose than a lot of other places. That sets me thinking. So it makes me think that when I talk to a lot of clients and also friends, they seldom have this idea of moving into this part of Singapore, which is the CCR. So I know that the reason is that because some of them, they are living near parents, they grow up in places like Jurong, Tampines, or you grow up in Woodlands, Yishun, places like that. So CCR is an area that not in a lot of people's radar to live in, okay? And even this, some of the investors may not consider that CCR in part of their consideration. So that's why today I have this special topic, and the reason is that me being so active in CCR for the past 20 over years, I realized CCR has a lot of potential. So I have gathered some data, I have gathered some examples of transactions, and I gathered some opportunity for you to consider that CCR is actually a place, no longer just a dream, but a place where you can consider to invest in and also live in yourself here, right? I know that news like this, we look at the per square foot that, for example, the latest news that for Park Nova, it has achieved one of the highest ever transaction in Singapore, which is $6,593 per square foot. Yes, this is very, very high. And indeed, it is true that in CCR, there are locations where $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per square foot for a private condo is quite common. Okay. But that doesn't mean that in the whole of CCR, that all the transactions, all the properties will be in $4,000, $5,000 to $6,000 per square foot, right? So that's why is CCR out of reach for most buyers? That is a question that I think in the current market, we look at the RCR and OCR, the transactions volume is very high, and CCR is lacking of this. So what is the reason? Now, that is the pointers that I want to bring you in. Just a brief intro of CCR. So what is CCR? CCR basically are the locations where you get quite a good addresses, like for example, Nassim Road, Tomlinson area, Cane Hill, part of this River Valley area, even go down to the part of Sentosa, right? So all this district here from 9, 10, part of 1, part of 2, 4, 5, 4 and 6 and 7, this is part of CCR. Easier for you to look at this is that if you look at this map here, the boundary line of dark color, black color, that differentiate between OCR and RCR. And between this darker boundary, we have three patches of colors, which is the yellowish, the blue, and the pink color. Okay, so the yellowish color will be the Orchard area together with part of Bukit Timah. The blue color is actually the downtown core area, all the way until Beach Road area. And the pink color is actually Sentosa. So this trade area comprises of a lot of commercial, but also a lot of condominium, private landed houses, and private condo in this area as well. So the CCR means core central region. The RCR means rest of central region, and the OCR means out of central region, outside. Okay, so if you look at the transactions volume, the 2024 CCR transaction volume has 2,626 units versus RCR of about 6,008 and OCR of more than 9,800 units. Okay, so look at this number. You do realize that CCR number is the least, but however, do remember, CCR, the size of the land is actually very limited, but yet it comprises 2,000 over units transaction in CCR alone versus OCR and RCR. So which means that there is a big bulk of private property transaction happen in CCR as well. Okay, if you look at the 2023 transaction volume comparison versus 2024, 2024 CCR actually the volume decreased by 20 over %. Okay, and RCR plus about 2%, and OCR increased by about 26 over %. So what is the reason that CCR among all the locations has a decrease in the volume? Okay, and this brings us back to a very historical chart of our property price index. So I do not know whether how frequent you use this chart here, but what is a property price index? So PPI is actually not tracking the absolute quantum or absolute price of a property, but it tracks the increment or decrease of the prices, the changes, be it up or coming down here. Okay, so if you look at this, in 2009, okay, Q1, that is where the government set back to the reference point of the base point of 100. Okay, so 100 set as a beginning point of tracking, okay, like a reset, then it starts to track again. And as of today, okay, we track until 2024, this, let me see here, Q3, okay, to Q3, and to Q4, actually, the PPI has increased substantially for OCR and RCR. So how much it has increased? So for this, let me see here, for this, okay, RCR, okay, so for this, this OCR, it has increased to 557 versus RCR, it has increased to 223, and for CCR, it has increased to 154. Of course, throughout this period, we have a PPI that goes up and comes down, but we pull the furthest part from the base point 100 until today. This means that what? This means that in 2029, okay, or 2009, when your property, you buy it at maybe 1 million, today in this area for CCR, you will buy it for 1.5 million plus, okay? Where if you own a property of 1 million in OCR, as of today, the property, okay, it will be about 2.57 million on the average. And versus same thing for the RCR, now from 1 million, your property price value should be about 2.23 million. So this is how layman people, like me, we look at the price increment of this area here. But one thing very, very important that you must take note here, the price gap between OCR, RCR, and CCR. So put it that way, from 2009, when we all started from base point of 100, the price increment between OCR and RCR, okay, versus CCR has increased substantially. So which means what? Which means that the price gap, okay, between RCR and CCR has decreased. The price gap between OCR and CCR has also decreased, the gap, okay, because why? CCR property has maintained at this price for quite a period of time, where the OCR and RCR, the price has increased, means catch up with the CCR prices, okay. So that's why today's topic is very, very interesting if you follow me closer. But before that, let's look at what happened. What is the reason why people, for quite a period of time, that don't consider CCR into the investment or their property home, okay? So I have these few slides here, which the first thing, decentralization of CBD. Okay, I think this, if for those of you who are familiar with how our Singapore government trying to grow and develop the whole nation, we used to have our CBD in the downtown core area, which is part of CCR. Okay, that was maybe about 30, 40, or even 50 years ago. But because of congestion, because of traffic, because of the living environment, and because of limited space, that is where the government wants to have different township and different new business hubs across Singapore Island. So you look at Jurong, you have Jurong East, you look at this Tampines hub area, even goes up to Woodlands, also have a Woodlands Central there. So if you look at the yellow color and the blue color, that is actually the expansion from the CBD area outward. So what this means is also there are new job opportunity and offices and even factories that's being set up out of the CBD area. Okay, so it's easier for people to commute to work, which is nearer from home. The transportation is also much easier and less congestion for the area. Okay, so but what is the effect of this? The effect of this is that the wealth used to be concentrated in the downtown core area, but throughout this 20, 30, 40, 50 years period, the wealth distribution has go out of CBD, which means that people, land owners that is out of the CBD, they start to enjoy the increment in their land value together with the property value as well. So we call this the wealth distribution. Okay, so this is what happened when the government initialized the 1991 planning of decentralization of Singapore businesses. Okay, another factor, I think some of us that goes to even to the extreme end, the northeast, we go to Punggol, Sengkang, we go to Yishun, we go to Jurong, where somehow we go to Pasir Ris or even Changi area. You realize that now there are more quality development being built out of the CBD, okay, especially on the CCR here. Integrated developments, below is MRT, upstairs is shopping mall, together with offices and mostly resi as well. So this new trend of the good quality development has sprung up across the whole island. Okay, so because of this better quality development that we have in out of CCR, in OCR and RCR particularly, so that's why we have more choices for us not to only particularly choose to live in CCR, but the rest of the part of Singapore as well. So this is actually provides a daily needs of most Singaporean or residents, not just in the downtown or core area, but the whole island wide. Okay? So we also see this happening in the past, especially 20 years. Okay. The third, if you remember that Singapore used to only have two MRT lines, the east-west line and the north-south line. So then from there, we do see that those land, along with these two MRT lines, they start to develop. And it's very convenient, from Jurong to Pasir Ris, it's very convenient for us to travel. But lately, if you look at one of the latest map, okay, latest map here, okay, you notice that the MRT lines has expanded tremendously across our island. Okay, MRT, LRT, we even have the new routes that goes up to this Jurong as well. These are Johor as well. So with these new MRT lines being set up, there are more and more plot of land that is right next to the station, and this provide convenience for residents to tap into the network of public transport. Okay, not just that, the bus route has also increased. If you notice that there are more bus interchanges nowadays than 10, 20, 30 years ago. Okay, so this is also another factors that you need to take note of. Okay, now let's move on to another pointers that I'm going to bring up. That is shopping mall. We know that shopping is very important for Singaporean and residents here, right? And yes, we used to just shop along Orchard area, Plaza Sing, Suntec City area, maybe a little bit places like Chinatown last time, Golden Mile Complex, all these places here. That was the old Singapore. But if you notice as of today, we really do not need to travel into CCR to do our shopping, as in daily shopping. Every neighborhood has neighborhood malls. If not, you have a bigger scale mall. So this map here shows you the big malls and the small shopping malls that we have across the island. And this actually brings up the option for people to don't have to consider CCR, but they choose OCR and RCR as their home because of shopping convenience. Okay. Now, another pointers to bring up is actually good schools. So we all know that there are a lot of good schools in the Bukit Timah belt, which is in CCR, okay? And lately, there are more of our neighborhood schools, they also become very good schools, okay? So some of the Singaporean, we will send our children to schools in neighborhood, but it's equivalent as good as our so-called the famous good schools in Singapore here. Plus, some of the schools has actually relocated from their current position to a new township, okay, which is happening and more will happen this way. So with the good schools also not concentrated in just one area, there will be more options for residents to choose schools out of CCR area, okay, especially in the region of RCR. Okay, so these are considerations that we realize. And the last one is actually our elderly parents. Okay, so we notice that Singaporean is going into the aging society, and more of our parents, they need care from the children. Okay, so government initiative to encourage more children to live near to their parents. Okay, like HDB, we have the grant for them. But for our property, there's no grant. But however, a lot of children wants to live immediately next to their parents to take care of their elderlies, and vice versa. Some elderly parents, they will want to live near to their children, okay, and to take care of their younger children, their next generation. And usually the younger parents, they will buy property in the OCR area. And this is where we do see that some of the elderly parents from CCR, they shifted out from CCR to OCR and RCR. So there are a lot of this happening in Singapore, especially for the past 30 to 40 years. The peak that we see is actually in the past 10 to 20 years. The transformation of Singapore is tremendous. So because of the growth of Singapore and the URA plannings across the whole island right now, we do not see that the concentration of businesses, the concentration of real estate investment, home to stay, schools, shopping mall in just one location, right? So these are the few factors that I think of that why that lately there are more people tend to ask us as a property agent to recommend them properties that is out of CCR. And besides the fishball noodle story, another story that I want to tell you is like this. I also have friends that I'm talking to them and ask them that, hey, if they can own something, buy something, a new home, where do they want to buy? So of course, they said that, okay, Chris, actually my new home is in Cairnhill area, okay, but it's so expensive that I cannot afford to buy. So I asked my friend, what is the price range that you're looking for? He said that, okay, I'm looking for a 2 to 3 bedroom, maybe in the region of $2 to $3 million. And to my surprise, there are quite a few properties in Cairnhill that is within this price range. So I asked him, have you ever checked about the transaction of this resale market in Cairnhill area? He said no, because to him is that it is so expensive that it's out of reach for him. So even my close friends that has with BBs for so long, he also never put CCR as an area for him to invest in. It is like something out of reach. So with all the factors that I presented, and with the perception that CCR is just expensive, you may miss out a lot of opportunity to invest into CCR. Okay, so if you look back at this chart here, okay, and we notice one thing, the price gap, okay, between the CCR versus RCR, the price gap between CCR versus this OCR especially, the price gap is narrowing because why? Based on the PPI, the price increment of RCR and OCR, it is much steeper than CCR. Okay, CCR has been quite flat. If you look at this line here, it has been quite flat. Of course, lately there is a bit of increment, but comparing with RCR and OCR, you know that the price gap has narrowed for this part here. Okay, so look at this chart here. Okay, this will be the non-landed private residential, okay, transactions by volume, by resident status. Means what? Means that who are the people that buys into this CCR area? The green color is actually company, okay. The orange color is actually foreigner, and the purple color is actually Singapore PR. So if you look at this chart here, we used to have a big chunk of companies, okay, and we have foreigners that buying into CCR, okay. And for PR, the data shown is that it is quite stable, and in fact, okay, it has increased a little bit more in terms of the profile of PR buying into CCR, okay. What is the reason that there is a big drop of company purchase of private property versus and also foreigner buying is because of the ABSD. As you all know, the foreigner buying the ABSD, buying of a property now, the ABSD, even for the first unit is at 60%. So that actually puts a lot of people on hold of they do not want to pay 60% as a foreigner, so they don't buy into property in Singapore yet. Okay, and I have another chart for you. This is similarly of the property transactions volume, okay, by Singaporean in CCR. Okay, if you notice, we used to have a lot of Singaporean. Okay, of course, there's a period of lower. Okay, but lately, Singaporean has increased in numbers of buying into CCR. Okay, so this chart is easier for you to take a look. The Singaporean purchase, okay, has increased. Okay, where company almost don't have, foreigner is very little, and PR remains stable. So what this means? This means that actually some savvy investors of Singaporean, they found that CCR currently is value buy for them. Okay, when the foreigners and companies, they are not encouraged to buy property in Singapore, real estate property in Singapore. So the price, it becomes very attractive for them, especially in CCR. Why? Because if you're comparing the purchaser profile across a different segment, CCR has the highest number of foreigners purchase in Singapore. Okay, so and this foreigner purchase group currently is very little. Okay, if you look at this, okay, company foreigner purchase currently is only stand at about 5%, and company is almost zero. Okay, versus Singaporean is 76% and SPR is 19%. So with this, they found that hey, it is a good opportunity for me, which do not have to pay 60% ABSD. I buy into CCR. Okay, so that's why it's very interesting if you look at data like this here. Now, we all know that this phenomena, okay, currently we are still in cooling measures period, and I like to use this example where the government trying to cool our market because the buying demand is so strong, not just Singaporean, including foreigners and companies and people from abroad and SPR as well. And government have to do something to cool the market. So they have to cooling measures and put it into a situation where if you want to buy, the demand is so high, I put a cap to it. Okay, so it's just like a pressure cooker. So pressure cooker does what? Pressure cooker is actually, we control the situation. And I call this the artificially suppressed condition. Means what? Means that Singaporean, you are not affected if you are your first time owner, but the rest of the people, they are affected. So you are in a very good position to pick and choose the best possible property location and type for you to invest in. Okay, before this is being changed. Okay, so my next question is CCR property price too high to afford? Just like my friend. He kept telling me that CCR prices are very high. Okay, yes, of course, because we know that they are 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 per square foot properties in the news. Okay, but those are not majority. Those are actually highlights of this segment. There are a lot of property that is very affordable in CCR. So that's why personally, I have handpick some developments that I think that I should show you. Okay, there are many, but this few in particularly is very important. Okay, and let's look at the first thing. We look at secondary market and then we look at the prime market. In short, secondary will be the resale market and primary will be the new project launches here. Okay, first, we look at OUE Twin Peaks. Okay, so this property is actually in walking distance to Takashimaya and Paragon, very, very near. It is a leasehold, 99, no doubt, but it's fairly new. It is completed in 2015, okay? It's iconic, 2 big towers. The facilities is so luxurious that you have multiple gym, you have big pool, you have multiple club lounge, you have concierge service. It is a true luxury condo living in Singapore. Okay, let's look at the prices here. So, these prices here, to be fair, I do not want to take the highest, lowest for the past 10, 20 years, no. I only pick the past 12 months, okay? I ignore those earlier transactions, be it lower or higher, no. We just look at the transactions in February 2024 to February 2025, okay? So these are transactions that you can see here, and I saw it by per square foot from lowest to the highest. So actually, if you look at this transaction here, there are a lot of transactions being done slightly above $2,000 per square foot. Okay, and they are the higher range of about 2003 to 2004 per square foot. And you may say, Chris, these seems quite high. Okay, but however, if you look at the quantum, there are many transactions that is done in the 1.1 to 1.3 region. Okay, for a one bedroom, which is 548 square feet, which is a very decent size unit. Okay, and of course, if you go up to a 3 plus study, then you can go up to about 3.3 million here. Okay, and we're talking about CCR District 9. Okay, later you do a comparison yourself, so you start to remember the prices of these OUE Twin Peak. Now, the next property is called the Peak at Cane Hill. So the address itself are worth some money already, right? And this is freehold in District 10. It's a single block building, and it is completion also in 2021, which is pretty new as well. And if you look at this, because it's a smaller project, so lesser transactions, it is below $2,000 per square foot and hovering about $2,000 to $2,001 per square foot. And quantum-wise, it's also about 1 million, okay, to 1.3. 500 to 600 square feet. Okay, and this one is really walking distance to Paragon. Okay, and this is in the enclave of Cane Hill area. Okay, you know Cane Hill area is where the old rich people they have a lot of properties there, and including some of them are living in this Cane Hill area as well. Okay, so quantum is very affordable, and the per square foot is also lower. Okay, look at another one, a little bit further away from Orchard area, still in CCR. Is in District 11, but it is right on top of this MRT station, okay, Novena. So Solar at Sinaran, okay, which is in the area where you get good quality medical, you get big shopping malls, two shopping malls there, you get the MRT right in the vicinity, and easy access to the highway as well, okay, and also down to Orchard and Newton area. So this whole District 11, completion is 2011, a little bit older, but if you look at the transaction, 1,007 per square foot, 1,007, 1,007, 1,008, 1,008, 1,009, 1,009. The highest done is 2.3. Okay, same thing. Because the unit here, some of them are bigger sizes, so you need about 2.5 million. But we also have a lot of them, which is a 500 over square feet, and this is in the region of 1 to 1.1 million. Okay, and you're talking about convenience. Put it that way, Novena area, I don't think that you cannot get any fishball noodle. I think there are a lot of fishball noodles you can choose in Novena area, especially go to the Novena Square, right? So, and surprisingly, some people, they are not considering this area because they just keep thinking that the price is beyond reach. Okay, now I'll give you another one. Good Schools area, the Tesserina. Okay, this will be in District 10. This is freehold, a bit older, completion is 2003. Okay, I personally lived here before when it first TOP for a few years, and I love the project because it's a big scale. Tennis court, swimming pool, gym, everything is very nicely done. And you look at the transaction prices, 1,006, 2,000, 2,001. Highest is also about 2,003. Okay, and this is because it's a bigger. These are bigger units. Okay, of course this one will be a penthouse unit. Okay, but a typical 3-bedroom. Okay, you're looking below 3 million, about 2.7 million. And this will be very suitable for people with young kids. They want to send their children to good schools around there. Okay, so that's why Bukit Timah still have its charm because of the location of good schools around there as well. Okay, so this is another one. Now, in short, in the resale market, okay, in CCR, it's actually very affordable. Okay, and we are not talking about substandard development. These are good quality, nicely done projects that we have in the market that we can look at. Okay, and some more, these developments are built a little bit a few years ago, and I can tell you the quality and the design is actually very, very nice. Okay, because the space is there. As you know, as Singapore properties nowadays, we tend to become smaller and smaller and smaller. So something like this is very, very decent to live in and very comfortably. Okay, so how about the new market? Okay, we all know I also like new properties. I also like new cars, right? Is new market, the private market is also as high as not affordable for you to consider. That's why we look at this segment here. Okay. First thing first. Okay, sorry. Okay, before we go there. Okay. We go into the OCR first. Okay, yeah, comparing the CCR, not going to the OCR here. Look at Park Esta. Still secondary market resale. Okay, this is newly TOP in 2011, so it's about 2 to 3 years old now. And Park Esta is in District 14, next to Eunos MRT station. But if you look at the per square foot transacted, okay, there are too many, that's why I have to split into 2 portions here. The center one I omit. 1,009, 2,000, 2,000, and the higher per square foot would be $2,004 to $2,005 per square foot. Okay, so quantum-wise, you need to have about at least one. Okay, and if not, you'll be also about 900, but the rest, a bit bigger unit, will be about 1.6 million onwards. And for a decent 3-bedroom units, which is about 900 to 1,000 square feet, you need about 2.2 to 2.8 million. Okay, so this is also in the resale market, and this will be in the OCR area. So you look at the price difference. Now, another older project, but it's very convenient, which is also in the OCR, is Bedok Residences. Completion is 2015, it's a leasehold, and it is still at $1,004 to $1,007, $1,008, $1,009 per square foot. Okay, and we're talking about something that is older, completed in 2015. And for this property here, okay, you look at the per square foot price. Now you realize that, hey, actually in CCR, you can also get similar quality at a similar price. If not, you top up a little bit more, and some property is a little bit cheaper. Okay, next property, Watertown. Okay, so those of you who live in the northeast area, you know that this is a very new integrated development. Completion is 2017. And if you look at the transacted prices here, okay, 1,005 all the way until 1,009. Okay, newer, completed, move immediately. But the similar per square foot, you're looking at this, you can also get very nice property in the secondary market in CCR. Okay, but of course, Watertown is an area that a lot of the Punggol residents looking forward to, because basically your shopping, grocery, eating, dental, clinic, all in one place there. Okay, but I want to say this thing. CCR also can provide equivalent good quality of lifestyle. Coffee, cafe, shopping, dental, clinic, if not more. Okay, so that's why put yourself a little bit more open-minded and consider CCR for this portion here. And one thing, the money you spend on property in RCR and OCR can buy you a similar property in CCR. Okay, I just highlighted to you a few of the examples only. If we go deeper, you realize there are more and more opportunity for you in the secondary market in CCR alone. Okay, now, back to our earlier question is, the secondary market, we can see that there are quite a lot of value buy in CCR, but how about the secondary market? So secondary market, what we mean would be the project launches, the new launches that we have in Singapore here. And lately, like last year, we have 6 launches launched at the same time. And now this period, we have 5 launches launching at the same time. So it's very, very hot for our prime market. And I must tell you, the design of each development is getting better and better and better. The lifestyle, the layout, and now it's post-harmonization. The design of the space usage is very efficient nowadays, right? So that's why I also personally like it a lot. Okay, but same thing, let's look at primary market between CCR versus the rest of the other area here. Okay. First, news. Okay. If we read newspaper in the past 1 month, okay, especially from December until January, and now it's February already. Okay, we know that Chuan Park was launched, and then the take-up rate was super good, and on the average per square foot was about $2,579 average PSF. So average means it's like the majority, but of course there are some property that is above, some below here. Okay, take up, very good. The next, we have Emerald of Katong, okay, which also sold out very, very nicely, but the per square foot here is slightly higher already. The per square foot is 2.6 onwards on the average. Okay, and lately, the last one, we have Ori, which sold out 86%, and on the average of $2,007 per square foot. Okay, so these are our new launches here, and our buyers, our investors are very happy because it's very difficult for them to secure a choice unit for them. Okay, so congratulations to you if you manage to get a unit here. But Now, we know that the price increase in OCR and RCR, okay, then how about the condition, the current situation in our primary market in CCR, okay? So let's look at one of the just launched project, just end of last year. It's called the Collective at 1 Sophia. It is at District 9. It is right in CCR, okay? It is currently at the average per square foot of 2,750, which is the same as our other project launches in OCR and RCR as well, okay? So that's why, look at the quantum-wise, a studio unit ranges from about 1.2 million, one bedroom about 1.3 to 1.5, two bedroom and bigger units about 1.7 to 2.2, and three bedroom about 2.8 to 3.6. Okay, so, and the Collective at 1 Sophia, it is just along Seligi Road, okay? Right in front, there will be a lot of schools, okay? A lot of offices, a lot of eateries, a lot of this grocery area as well, cafe, shopping. Okay, and in fact, some of the people who live in Sophia area, they will walk just straight road down to Suntec City for their work because it's a one straight road down. They don't have to even take a bus or MRT. Okay, but this Collective 1 Sophia already also has 4 MRT stations within walking distance. So that's why it makes me think that why would the Collective at 1 Sophia, selling at this price, okay, still have some units that is available for us to choose. And main reason is because we have talked to many investors. They have never noticed this area because they just keep thinking that this area is beyond their reach. As simple as that. Okay. Now, next development, also in the Sophia area, this importantly is called a freehold property. It's called Orchard Sophia. Okay, it's a smaller development, brand new as well. And the demand initially wasn't very good, but lately he has sold a lot of units, but now we only left with a 2 bedrooms unit. And the average per square foot now is 2,009. But quantum-wise, it's between 1.6 to 2 million. So, and this is for a 2 bedroom freehold property. And this is also a very nice enclave area in the CCR vicinity, very near to the Istana. So again, same location, just that some people tend to notice this area now, which to me is a hidden gem area here. Okay, but one thing I must highlight to you. Previously, some people may not think that this is a good living environment because of there are some entertainment in that vicinity. But I'm also sorry to say that this whole thing is gone because the whole building is being en bloc, right? So that's why if you have yet to notice this area, look at the price. The price is very attractive. And one more thing that you may not notice, rentability. CCR area always able to have a short period of vacant period. Means that it's easier for you to get a tenant, okay, in between lease. And tenants profile are working people, some of them attending SMU schools, and some of them will be a young couple, okay? And the turnaround time will be very, very quick because after 2 years, they may go back to the country, but the same company may replace with another employee and will occupy the same place. This is what we have seen in this part of Singapore of a CCR, where we have constant inflow of potential tenant, okay? Where if other parts of Singapore, you may realize that sometimes it's a little bit harder to get a good profile of tenant or take a bit longer time because there are no offices or business opportunity around there. Okay, but CCR is full of these activities here. Now, another development that is right in the downtown area, okay, which is the previous Golden Mile complex. And we all know that the Golden Mile complex itself is being conserved. So it will be converted to become offices and retail and medical suite. And it is the first big scale building that is being conserved by the government with the voices from Singaporean and residents here, okay? And Oria will be next to it, which is part of this Golden Mile Singapore. And this hasn't launched yet, which is coming soon, okay? Which is starting this weekend. And it will be starting from 2,750 per square foot, okay? And if you look at our price guide now, 2 bedroom, 2,700, 2,900, 3,000, 2,800, 2,900, 2,900. Starting from, then of course it will go up higher, but this is where we have seen some of our projects in the OCR and RCR area also surpass $2,700 to $3,000 per square foot and is being transacted. Okay, and this development of Oriole we are talking about is a brand new full city view, good quality development by our developer. Okay, so that's why if you look at this, currently our these three latest, in fact there are a few more which we may not be able to squeeze everything here, but if you look at just these three development, okay, you realize CCR projects, okay, the price is very, very close, if not almost the same as our projects in RCR and OCR. Surprise, right? But no surprise, because this is what the government has initiated with all the pointers there. So the attention is actually should come back into CCR. Okay, so whether for secondary or primary market, the money you spend on property in RCR and OCR can buy you similar property in CCR. Okay, this is a very important pointers for you to take back after listening to today's session here, because this is where the investment opportunity is now. Okay, especially under this artificially suppressed condition of the cooling measures. CCR is the hardest hit because CCR, as again, there are a lot of foreigners who used to buy this area here, but now they're not buying because of the ABSD. So as you, Singaporean or PR, okay, this area is something that you should really consider. Okay, and CCR, does it mean that it is so established now that there is no more future for it to grow? Now, when we launch our townships or our new projects in the RCI and OCR, we always have a story to share with our buyers, because let's say this new township in the future, there are how many plots of land coming in, so you have the first movers advantage, all these things here. Do you know that CCR also has a very, very strong story, not just story, angle for us to look into it? First, if you know, the government had just announced that the scheme for the downtown old offices to rejuvenate has been extended to further 5 years. This means that the government has actually put in effort to get developers to rebuild their older offices tower to become more resi, more service hotel, more retail, and newer offices into this location here. Okay, and it is taking place, so you do see that some of the developments is ongoing now, but we need more. So the government purposely wants the developer to do more into this CCR area. Okay, so that's why this is the first future. So in the next 10 to 20 years, you will see that there are a lot of older buildings in the downtown area will be demolished and built for newer ones. And during the national rally last year, Prime Minister Lawrence, he has announced that the plot of land, okay, from Tanjung Ru, okay, to Kampong Bugis, to Nicole, to Marina South and Marina East, this whole area will come together to officially develop. Okay, currently there are some older buildings and a lot of empty lands there. Okay, so this area government is going to put in effort to develop into the new part of Singapore. Okay, so there are a lot of this add up to be a lot of townships here, but no, this is all together as the downtown core of Singapore here. And put it that way, if you notice, the government has put in a lot of funds, okay, into the CBD CCR area here. So this amount of funds has brought in a lot of new businesses into Singapore, okay, and they all are in this area here. So that's why we have to tap into these resources here, together with another greater area, which is the Marina and the Greater Southern Waterfront. Okay, so this area here, we know that the port is going to shift from Keppel all the way until Tuas there. So it will free up a lot of the port lands that currently is being occupied to be developed. Okay, so this whole thing, even though it is nearer to Sentosa, which is part of CCR as well. So from this part of Sentosa to the CBD to the Bugis, okay, this whole area is going to become a major transformation in Singapore in the very, very near future. In fact, it has already started happening now, together with the Marina area. Okay, this is the new Marina downtown area, the Gardens by the Bay area. Okay, and Kampong Bugis area, if you look at this here, Kampong Bugis itself, it has a lot of empty land, okay, plus the lands in front of Nicole Highway, okay, cross the waterway until Tanjung Ru area. All these land are under study. So the property that currently we have in this area, okay, we still have a very long way to go, because as you know, when the next plot of land is being sold, usually the price increase in value. When the price increase in value, then the rest of the other property in the surrounding also start to have the same benefit in that. And we are not talking about 1 or 2 plots of land. We're talking about multiple plots of land in the whole downtown area here. Okay, so my last questions that I want to ask you, okay, should the land price of CCR be higher or lower than RCR and OCR? Okay, so we take away all the buildings, we take away all the whatever that's built on top. We just look at the land itself. The plot of land in CCR, should it be higher or lower than the land value in OCR and RCR? Okay, now the second thing you think after this is that, but then how come in CCR there are still so many good opportunities for us to consider investing in? Okay, I have an answer that I have with you. This is my own answer, because if the time is too late for you to invest in, it will not be at this price anymore. So now at this moment, because we are more and more people slowly realize that the CCR has a great potential in the future, more and more people start to come in to buy into the CCR area here. So that's why I do not want you to miss out this opportunity. You should also ride on the same wave, okay, and be the first few that invest into CCR, be it both secondary market and prime market, means be it both the resale and the projects that we have here in this location here. And I think our EIA salesperson are all very well trained to have a one-to-one talk with you. Catch up with us more, okay, whether through our agents or in the show flats, then we will see you and we have a personal discussion about your investment potential in the future. So that's all for today's session, and see you again soon.